Good morning, party people. It is me, it's your girl, it's your favorite blogger, Lady Blue, and I am live in studio. I am waiting for my in-studio guest. I am just getting it rocking this morning because I need to get rocking. So, y'all know what to do. Tag, share, bring a friend, drag a friend, tell a friend, but just bring yourself on in here and let's have some fun, shall we? Make sure y'all know that I'm here. Good morning, good morning, good morning to those of you who have joined me this morning. Thank you for being here. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just getting invites down. And thank you for being here.
$50,000. We've sent out millions of pre-approval letters. We see the economy growing, and our underwriters believe now is the
There's a lot of y'all
to invest in your business so you can grow faster and make more money. And we're prepared to give you up to $250,000 to do it. Your funds can be available in 5 days. There are no application fees.
Good morning and good morning.
Access to
How y'all doing?
$50,000. If your business did not receive your approval letter to get up to $250,000, call Main Street Business Loans Approval Desk now. 800-430-8785. 800-430-8785. 800-430-8785.
Oh, we about to Jay the Lioness.
8785.
Watch time moving constant. Ain't no way to stop it, even if you would you lost it. I've been in the game and the ways haven't washed it. You might need the critics, but it's still on opposite. Hey, wristwatch time moving constant. Even if you would you lost it. I've been in the game and the ways haven't washed it. You can feel the greatest, but it's still gonna cost you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Revolution.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just grab a seat.
Jay.
I'm sorry, I'm all up in my screen over here. How you doing?
book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first class tickets. 855-325-1820. 855-325-1820.
Morning, what's up, everybody?
Talk about what you do, why you doing it, how long you've been doing it, where you've been doing it, and we may touch on a few, hot topics that are going on in the nation right now. Other than that, everything's already, used to her. But I have folks come up in here and they white knuckle to death. I don't know what. We're gonna have about 24 minutes for the set. Take a break, come back in on some light reads and all that great with that out of it. And then we'll jump into a little bit more music and then a little bit more in that in the last hour. And then this I get kind of signal so that everybody doesn't have to everything. We got 2 minutes left on this. Breathe through the 30 seconds. We did this time. All right, cool.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing ASAP. We're looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to us. And we'll give you our feedback. And if we like what we read, we will get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. We handle everything. Editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. More than novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or biography, and more to get it published. Call Page Publishing now for your free author submission kit. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call now, 800-219-8262. 800-219-8262. 800-219-8262. That's 800.
All right, out there on Facebook land, you ready for Lady Slim? Because it's about to get started. So this is all together. Everybody get you here this morning. Come on, folks. Get your coffee, get your juice, get your water, get whatever you need. Let's go. That voice says, hey, we may endure for a night, but but joy comes in the morning. Say it again. Good morning. All right, party people, good morning, and good morning. It is me, it's your girl, your favorite blogger, Lady Blue, and I am coming at you Live right here at the Lady Blue Radio Show on WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. Make sure you are listening to the home of Cheryl Underwood Morning Show. Join our email list, join our list for updates, events, shows, more. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at WMSK Online Radio, and make sure you use the hashtag WMSK9. How is everybody doing? In my Wendy voice, how you doing? All right, we're going to get it started. We're going to get it rocking. I got my in-studio guest in here with me this morning, and I'm not going to waste too much time, but I do want to make sure that I shout out if anybody has a birthday today, an anniversary, a birth, whatever special occasion you got going on, because I know we got grads that are just coming out the woodwork. Happy anniversary, happy birthday, happy born day, and congratulations on your graduations. Happy birthday to Lee F. Baggett, Prentice Helene Watson, and Seth Avery Wright, who are celebrating birthdays today. Happy birthday, gentlemen. Thank you for being here, and thank you for, you know what? Any day above ground is a good day. So if you're breathing, you're awake, and you're listening to this, you got another chance to do it all over again. So make sure you don't waste it, and you go out there and you use it to the best of your ability. I got some folks up in here with me today. Okay, and what I like to do is I like to let people introduce themselves. I want y'all to know we have a veteran up in here, first of all, and that is my girl, A. Michelle. How you doing, love? Yes, you know I'm gonna call you out.
I'm just in the background. That's all I'm trying to be today. That's
That's
all I'm
all right.
trying to be. But thank you so much, Lady Blue. I am so honored. I thank you.
You are welcome, love. You are welcome. It's great to see you.
It's always a pleasure.
And you know what? From the background, I want you to introduce our in-studio.
What a pleasure that is. What a pleasure that is. None other than Mr. J. Esquire himself, a young and innovative R&B artist. You know, R&B is just not the same anymore. And he has a nice twist on it. He gives you that vibe of, you know, a little bit of Luther, a little bit of everybody. That's all I can say. He does it. When I first met him, I was just like, okay, you know, everybody say their thing. But I fell in love. I literally drove. I was on travel when I first listened to the album. So that gave me time to really focus. I was driving.
Mm-hmm.
So I just rode and I just kept listening to it over and over. And I'm like, okay, you know, you're looking for something. You're looking for something. And I ended up calling him and just was like, it's everything.
Okay.
It was everything. It's like every song was different. Every song, and I'm just gonna say, ministered to me in a different way in the love area, and how you heard and then saw it, and you know, as a visual in your mind. So it's been truly a pleasure. And then you know, we built a relationship over time, growing and getting to know each other as friends. And then later on, here now we're in partnership for our business, and managing him has been truly a pleasure, and I thank God for this opportunity. I honestly thought he already had management because of how well things were looking on the surface from my side of it. But to find out he didn't, he did a wonderful job doing it all himself. So I commend him on that. So once again, J. Esquire.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm good. That was an amazing intro.
Okay.
Check is in the mail. All right.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. We are so glad to have you. And y'all are going to hear some J. Esquire music in here today. So you just, you know, keep your ears tuned, okay?
Right.
Keep them tuned because we will have some in the next break. But, you know, tell us a little bit about you, sir. What you got going on?
Singer, songwriter, producer from Baltimore, West Side to be exact. Still promoting the my debut album, Imperfect Judgment, which just celebrated a year. It's been out for a year now, and it's been doing amazing for me. And you know, it's gotten really good reviews, and it's just got some really good fanfare. And I'm super excited about it. Still, after a year, to be independent and still be eating off of the one album because it's amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, for people to still be rocking with it the way that they had and was taking on this whole life is truly, truly been a blessing. So I'm just glad to be here.
That's awesome. Now, somebody please tell me, what is it about the West Side that just keep producing all these good underground artists? What is that?
It's a word.
It is something over there. It must be because they all coming from the West Side.
Absolutely.
All right, so you're born and raised Baltimore?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. How many in your family?
See, I got the typical story. Like on my mama's side, it's 2 of us. On my daddy's side, it's 4 of us. On my mother's side, I had 1 sister. On my father's side, I had 2 sisters, 1 brother.
Okay. Okay.
So, my dad is a singer.
Mhm.
He's in the group, the legendary group from Baltimore called the Soft Tones. He's the lead singer. Valerie Simpson from Asheville Simpson is my cousin on my dad's side, and Cisco from Tree Hill is my cousin on my dad's side.
A whole lot of vibrato up in there. Okay.
Yeah, I come from a nice little lineage
Yeah.
of music. My grandparents sang, my aunts, my uncles. So it's just always been around me.
Okay.
So,
Because that was gonna be my next question. You grew up in music. Then.
absolutely.
All
And
right.
it wasn't even always something I aspired to do. It was just something that I knew that I loved.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just something that I grew an affinity for. Just being a fan of it. Like, I'm a fan of it before anything. For
Okay.
being an artist, like, I'm a fan of this thing.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So, in growing up in music and getting to know, who was doing what within your family and so on and so forth, did music just start within the home? Was it a
Mhm.
church thing? Was
No.
it,
It was both.
Uh-huh.
It was in my home. I can remember, being a kid and watching my mom get ready to go out, and she's playing Anita Baker, she's playing Luther, she's playing, anything that was hot at the time, or
Okay.
and then some of the older stuff, and then going to my dad's house on the weekend, and he's playing the most sophisticated stuff. Luther included,
Mhm.
Al Jarreau, and
Mm-hmm.
Sade, and the Manhattan Transfer, and all those types of people. So.
Lord, I ain't heard nobody mention the Manhattan Transfer in quite some time.
So let's see where
Okay.
this is going, and then
Uh-huh.
and then having a stepfather that was a DJ at one point, so being introduced to hip hop and house music and club music, so I was just always surrounded by it.
So when you decided to take that step into music, what was your first performance? Do you remember your first performance? What was it like?
My first performance was I remember I was 10,
Mm-hmm.
but that wasn't necessarily the moment that I said aha. It was something that I wanted to try because everyone that I grew up admiring, I watched them perform.
Okay.
So I was like, I would love to see what that's like. And we did that. But my first one, I did a talent show
Mm-hmm.
with my brother, my best friend, shout out to Nick, and we won. And the girl screaming was enough. I was like, okay, we can do this. But it was funny. What happened was a lot of them showed up to the show early, so they heard us in sound check, and
Okay.
so they were already ready. So when they called us to come up, the girls were already ready, and they rushed the stage and they screaming. And I still remember we had on our oversized white tees. I had on a headband, he had on a fitted, and big baggy pants and Air Forces. And our pants were sagging a little bit. And we got up there and we sang. We sung Stay by Jodeci. And we won. We took the trophy home. So that was when I was like, okay, we can do this. I'm with it. But we also used to we practiced every day in
Mhm.
high school, every single day.
Okay.
And on Saturdays we would go test it. We go to the malls and walk around and sing and see if the girls notice it. Or we could walk around. We would go to concerts and sing outside the shows. I wouldn't even go to the show. We would just go sing for anybody that we felt would listen to us. So we were just honing our skills that way.
Okay. I noticed you said you went to the mall and you sang. What's the best place for you to get your sound check? Do you do it in the shower? Do you do it in a hallway? Do you do it in the mall? Where do you get your feedback from for yourself?
The shower, yeah. I mean, that's the typical for the car.
Okay.
Spend a lot of time, traveling between, recordings and, singing, being in town or out of town, and, heading to airports and stuff like that. So I tend to sing in the car
Okay.
more than anything.
Do people look at you funny when you sing?
They might not.
You're in your own world at that
I'm in
point.
the zone. Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
awesome. So you had your first performance and you got a good feel off of that.
Mhm.
So as things started to progress for you, what was next after that talent show? What did you do next after the talent
Basically, we formed a group, me and Nick, called Black Harmony. I mean, I'm fast forwarding.
Right.
Actually, I just we would go we would go back and forth because sometimes I would be by myself,
Mhm.
and then he'd come back, he'd be by himself, and then we'd join back up together. But I we formed a group called Black Harmony, and we sang a cappella everywhere. We did a whole bunch of talent shows. We were really working hard to try to figure out an end to get in. And at the time, independent was almost foreign, and it was almost like curse word. It was blasphemous to be independent. At one point, being independent almost felt like, excuse me, you couldn't get a bid.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt like being independent was almost like a failure.
Mm.
So we were always trying to figure out how to get management, how to get producers to listen to us, how to get in studios, how to get to the next show, promoters and things of that nature. So we did a whole lot of just singing a cappella everywhere. Even when we did talent shows, we sang a cappella. We didn't sing the track. We almost didn't even know how to sing from the beginning. We were always singing a cappella. So.
And so when you finally stepped up into a studio, how was that different for you? Because I know singing a cappella is one thing, and then you're in a closed booth and you've got all these things going on. How did that feel for you once you stepped in the studio?
Hearing all your flaws is an interesting thing. Having to listen and actually know what you sound like, because when you sing it live, it just goes out. You never get the sound back. You never get it back. But in the studio, it captures everything that you're doing. So it was exciting, but it was also a rude awakening to some degree. You know what I mean? Because you finally hear what your tone sounds like.
Okay.
And if you really had the range you thought you had, and if you really can do those riffs and runs, and if your voice is as strong as you thought, your harmony is as tight as you thought it was. So it was, for me though, it was more of a learning experience. I was focused on, okay, what do we need to do next? I hear this, how can we make it better?
Okay. And so I know we fast forwarded through your life from 10 all the way up to studio, but once you've discovered all of those things and you're working on it, just give us a little hint of what it's like in the studio. Because not a lot of people, they see what they see on TV and think everything's all, well, that's simple. Tell us a little bit about what it's like in the studio.
Well, I think it's different for everybody. For me, it's definitely a creative space. It's like home. It's an avenue to express yourself before the world decides if it's good. It's your chance to determine whether something is good. It's funny when you hear a complete song and it's like, oh man, but people don't realize the takes that it might have took to get to that. You know, how many sessions it may have taken to get that song to sound the way that it finally sounds. You know what I mean? Be it the recording or the mixing of it or the mastering of it. It's totally creative, and you can only hope to come out with something great. You can only hope to create magic. You have those moments where you know it's magic, and then sometimes you really don't.
Right.
So people don't. I mean, even I know for me, sometimes I may be listening to one of my records, and I can remember what was going on that day. It might not have been my best day vocally, so it may have taken a little longer to lay those leads or those backgrounds, or just remembering how tedious the mix was. So it's definitely a creative space, but it just depends. It breeds competition. It breeds it's supposed to bring the best out of you as an artist.
Right. And you touched on something really important there, because it shows how much music is a part of your life. Because you just said you remember you can certain songs, you remember how you felt that day, or what you were thinking, or if it was good or not good. So that was a very important point. So my next question to you: what have you been on the side with the soundboard? Have you mixed your own? Okay. So what was it like when you trying to hit the soundboard yourself?
Well, I was excited because I absorbed everything. You know what I mean? I was the kid that thought it was cool to see all the buttons, and I needed to know what they all meant.
Right.
So I started out with a 4-track recorder, and I used to actually mix my own stuff, and like some of the kids in the neighborhood rapping or singing, they bring me their stuff and I would mix it. We have, the tape in there, we recorded the 4 tracks too, and I would take little notes, and then as it was recording into the next tape onto whatever machine we use, I would be mixing live as we went along. I would edit it first, so I would take at least 3 to 5 hours to really perfect it. But when I got in the studio, I got spoiled with an engineer, so it was kind of dope to just have somebody. But I designed the mixes myself, so it wasn't like I just sit down and like, that sounds good. No, I need delays to sit a certain kind of way, reverbs. I need to turn them up, turn them down. I need compression here. I need you to, brighten this up. I need more lows right here. I like mids right here. What kind of chain are we using so that this happens? What kind of space do we have in a record to allow a vocal to do a certain kind of thing? So I'm big on those type of things.
Okay. So you can fine tune your own ins and outs and highs and lows, as you're saying. So when you finally, as you're going along and you're learning these things and you're fine tuning yourself and you're finally hearing yourself in final form for the first time, what was that like for you? What was the feeling on that when you finally got that first one done and you heard it? What was that feeling like?
That's interesting. That was rewarding, but it's different when it's you.
Mm-hmm.
When you watch your favorite artist do something, you're like, man, that must feel amazing to hear. Your album is finished. That must feel amazing to be on that stage, whatever they're doing. But as an artist, you're critiquing, you're making sure it's right. Sometimes I remember, my first single when I got it back from mastering, I had to sit with it and listen, and I liked it, but I needed to make sure that I liked it. I feel it the same way. I remember playing it loud, I remember turning it down. I remember playing it with both ears and the earbuds. I remember taking one out because I just needed to feel as strong as everything that I listened to. Mm-hmm. So more than anything, it was just it was more critiquing than satisfaction. Eventually, I could listen to it and be like, yeah, I like it.
Okay, so when you finally let it go, you were okay with it.
Yeah, it took a while. Okay. Took a while.
Okay. Yeah. All right, and what was your first one?
My first single was Sexy.
Okay.
Amen.
Right. So we might as well hear the first one when we go to break. Okay. As a matter of fact, while I think about it, let me go on and put this up here so we don't have to think about it. There we go. Okay. And so you're the music industry is an interesting industry. Okay, because we're hearing it both from the mainstream side and the indie side. Mm-hmm. Give us your take on both sides, mainstream versus indie.
Well, mainstream is you have every resource you need at your disposal. Indie is definitely more of a grind. You gotta get it how you live. How hard you work is how much of a reward you can get at the end. If you're lucky. Mm-hmm. And so the majors are just that. The majors. And again, they provide the resources that you need to make a successful album, to make sure that it's getting in the hands of everybody that it needs to be in. Independent, you gotta literally go out here and do that. You know what I mean? But I like it. I enjoy it. You know what I mean? I enjoy the hustle of it. Like when my album came out, I enjoyed going to the stores and signing those assignment papers to make sure that my album was in there. I enjoyed getting it and putting it online myself. Controlling the cover and the graphic design, deciding who mastered the album, what mastered versions finally made it. I enjoy doing all of those types of things, and I also enjoy picking up those consignments.
I bet you did. That's because it's a lot of work, but you're making a good point because people today it's like, okay, everything's indie. You're hearing everything about indie and everything about underground. And of course, with mainstream, we know in mainstream you hear the same song. You hear the same song about 2-3 times in an album. Okay. Whereas with indie, if you hear it, you're just like, oh yeah, and then you may not hear it again for a few minutes. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna stick around because I want to hear this song. So that's why I appreciate the grind of the underground and the in the
And
indie artists.
that's something that majors should take heed to. You know what I mean? And the major radio stations. Like, nobody, if you really pay attention, a lot of people don't listen to the radio.
I know.
You know what I mean? Everybody's looking for the new thing.
Right.
And that's where, you know, the beauty and the grind is right now. And people are controlling their music. I mean, how many times have you looked at Unsung and found out that, you know, they were forced to record a record?
Right.
You know what I mean? They were forced to look a certain kind of way. How many times do you see they sold 3 million records and they broke?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Whereas though an indie artist can sell 50,000 and they could go.
Right.
So you know, that doesn't balance well. I was just watching documentary on Lee Perlman, the guy that discovered and created the Backstreet Boys called Boy Band Con.
Right.
NSYNC sold 10 million records on their first album. So they invites him out to dinner. He does a check presentation. 10 million. At $10 wholesale, it's $100 million. Cut each of them a check for $10,000.
Even straight out of their mouth.
What is that? And what made it so crazy is the server serving them their food at that restaurant in that moment made $14,000 more than NSYNC. In the year, their annual was $14,000 more than NSYNC.
Yikes.
People don't even realize, like, I mean, there's definitely beauty in having a major deal, but people don't realize that the standard artist, the first artist, really make 12 cents a copy. And off the 12 cents, you have to feed all your people.
Right. Right.
12 cents a copy.
Yeah.
That's something.
That hurts just hearing it.
So, what's
Never
triple
done.
platinum when you walk away with $30,000 if you're lucky? And those checks come in, so they're not. It's not like you get a lump sum or
Right.
then you gotta wait quarterly to get that.
Right.
But what is that?
Right. And you did say something very important, and I've heard it from other artists. They want to make sure that people understand, and even some of the managers and so on and so forth. They want them to understand it's not just you, the artist, receiving the money, because you've got to take care of your team. Your team, if you got an entourage, guess what? Their hand is out. They want to get paid. If you got somebody if you got a glam squad, they got to get paid.
Off 12 cents.
Right.
12 cents.
Right. So y'all think about that, okay? Because I'm gonna ask you about advice for the young up and coming artists a little later, but because they all need to get that reality check, because a lot of them seem to just think all I got to do is go in there and sing, and I'm gonna be, good to go.
But that's the that's what the industry wants you to think.
Mhm.
Every industry wants you to think that what you see is exactly what you get.
Mhm.
I mean, for anything. I mean, even being a doctor,
Mhm.
they show you get in here and you'll save lives, but they don't tell you you're going to school for 12 years.
Yeah.
What they don't tell you is the first 2 years on the floor is free.
Right.
So, it's like that with any type of success that you're looking for. You just have to be ready for it and do your math quickly. So, I know for me, when I did when Sexy With It generated its first amount of money, I was stunned.
Mhm.
Because it was, I didn't know. See, I didn't know the public, because I didn't know the streaming rates.
Right.
So when I got that first that first statement, I was like, wow, you can't live off of this. But I was blessed in the sense that I knew people who didn't even make it to that amount of money off of their streams. So I was looking pretty good at that point.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you have to. It can't be off of the money.
Right.
You know what I mean? The money is a reward. But when you're working hard, you don't even really pay attention to that. Like I said, it was nice picking up those checks, but it wasn't the motivation. The motivation was, seeing people buy it because you wanted to make sure that they had it.
Mhm.
Seeing people receive it well. When people send you pictures of themselves listening to your music.
Yeah.
And, that's the richness right there.
Right, that feedback, that reaction, that,
Oh, yeah.
that word of mouth. That
Oh,
let me
yeah.
tell you all about word of mouth. It
Oh, yeah.
is bigger than, even social media. Even though social media is as big as it is, and we see people on social media, people, when they open their mouths, is so much bigger. Why? Because it just is. Because people are out in the streets. They're not. Social media is carried with you, but at the same time, people aren't some people are 24/7 social media. But
That's the new grind.
who you
That's
telling?
the new grind.
Who you telling? 'Cause, I mean, even for myself, I at first it was like, okay, gotta be on, friend will miss something. After a while, I figured I ain't gonna miss nothing. And then you figure out how to space yourself on there so you're still relevant.
That's the hard part about independence, though, is because you gotta constantly be on the internet, period. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You gotta know what's going on YouTube. You gotta know what's going on Instagram. You gotta know Facebook, Twitter, whatever your situation is. You gotta be in the know of that
Yes.
constantly.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And so sometimes that can be a little bit of a hindrance to your artistic side.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, for me, I know when I did my album, more than anything, I was just focused on the music.
Okay.
But I knew that, you know, giving them little doses of stuff here and there is what excited them. That was how I got my audience. It's just kind of been a little more mysterious and spotty with how I allow them. You know, every once in a while I might do a live in the studio and
Yeah.
y'all, this is the first time, y'all the first people hearing this.
Mm-hmm.
Then I won't ever do it again.
Mm.
Or I won't do it again for like 3 months.
That
Then I may play the acapella hook
Mm-hmm.
so they can hear the harmonies and stuff. Or I might just be sitting there listening to the rough version of something. So it gives people that hunger. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's the thing that you gotta understand in being independent too. You gotta make people hungry for what you do. Because it's a trillion independent albums out here that we've never heard of and no one has heard of.
Mm-hmm.
No fanfare at all.
Right.
So it's definitely, you know, something that you gotta be mindful of when you're making music as well.
You know what? I'm learning a whole bunch just sitting here listening to you. Because, you know, every time when you bring an artist in and an artist gives you the real, that is what people need to hear. Because when they're just so busy wanting, all they hear is the dollar bill. That's all they hear. That's all they see. That's all they're not learning the actual side of it. That is the part that people really need to learn. But we're about to go pay the piper here. And, you know, come back and learn about a few things. We do have a calling guest who's going to be coming in at 10:15. Okay, so, you know, we'll give her spotlight for a few minutes and let her, you know, do her thing. But I still want to get into, you know, your music. We're going to play a few songs from J. Esquire. I'm excited to hear and let y'all do your thing. Baltimore, you should already know, okay? As for the rest of my audience, you getting ready to be educated, okay? So with that being said, y'all keep it locked right here. I got my in-studio guest, J. Esquire. I got my calling guest that's going to be happening at 10:15, and we just got a whole lot going on here. We're going to talk about hot topics. We're going to talk about a few other things and a few positive stories, so y'all keep it right here. This is Lady Blue of the Lady Blue Radio Show, and I am on the home of Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better, so keep it locked.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Facebook.
So y'all can take a little break, get up, walk, do whatever you got to do, because
What's happening?
I got
Hi,
Antonio. Antonio said, good morning.
What up, Tony?
Christine said something, she must have been responding to something you said. She said every day.
What's up? What's happening? Every day.
Every day.
Daily. We waiting for everybody.
Earl said, what's up?
What's happening, brother? What's going on, everyone? Good morning.
Empress said she's tuned in.
Hey.
No, talking tuned up. So she must be talking about Lady Blue. She said she tuned up.
I'm always tuned up. I'm like this all day, every day.
She said she's watching. She said
Hey,
hi.
Singleton, good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody? Y'all know y'all usually don't see me with sunglasses and all that on, but they're very necessary this morning. Trust me. So, they are currently playing Sexy With It. So I'm pretty sure everybody at least on the fan page. And go ahead, what's happening? IG Live. Pretty familiar with it. I hope so. But good morning, and I appreciate y'all listening in. And it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna keep being a good show. It's gonna have a good time. So. Okay, I want to make sure. Okay, I wave to everyone. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? These have been some good questions, by the way.
Yeah, I tend to go off the top of my head. When it comes to questions, I'm kind of in the moment. I don't like to script questions because then I start to sound like everybody else. You know, where were you born? How long have you been here? Have you lived in with Nobody wants to know that. We want to know what you're thinking. What is it that drives you to do what you're doing? That's what I want. All right, y'all getting a little taste of J. Esquire right now with Sexy With It. So
It's available for booking.
Always.
hey Paya, hey Milan. Jersey Sean, where the heck you been, man? Hazel here.
Sean, what up? That's my man.
Jersey Sean, look. I've been chasing that boy to come in this studio since ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Yes, I'm talking about you, Jersey Sean. You know.
I drove on his new album.
Mm-hmm. See? Now tell me you don't need to be up in here.
Absolutely. We'll work on it. We'll
Okay.
work on it. We'll work on it.
Make sure y'all download the free app. I didn't even talk about the free app yesterday.
Yeah, it's an app and it's free.
Free app, WMSKonlineradio.com. Go on over there, right there on the front page. Download the app. Download the app.
Download the app.
Yes.
WMSK.
Online
radio.
Yes. So if you miss any part of the show, you got 3 ways to hit it. Right. You can do Facebook Live. You can replay YouTube on the WMSK Online Radio channel, or you can give it an hour after the show's over, and it'll be on demand, and you can listen to your heart's content after that. How about that? All right. 3 ways for y'all to get your fix on JS Water. How about that?
Hey, how you live?
What you mean don't do that, Sean? What you mean don't do that? You know you need to be up in this studio. I've been after you for over a year. Make that 2. Okay, I've been in this business for 3 years. Yeah, 2 years. I've been asking you for 2 years. So come on with it. I'm coming up, Ma. I got you. Okay. I'll believe it when you're in here. When you're in that chair over there.
Yeah, that's my brother.
I love him. I give him a hard time, but
That's my guy. That's my guy. He know that. He know that. We have a ball. He's one of the funnest artists I've ever worked with. We have those songs. We get through them so quick before you know it. It's a whole record. We're having so much fun recording.
I watched him when he does his Facebook Live, but he's got a powerful voice too. Yeah. Now, see, I've been talking about you, Sean, but I love your voice too, my friend. So.
All right, you hear that? All right.
Hold on a second. I'm gonna let you talk to face to face. Do your thing. Hold on.
You hear that? You love your voice too, man. You know where there's me, there's you. You know that? So that's how we get down. Like that's big bro right there.
There you go. Set a date. You and I will talk.
Way taller than him.
You and I, Sean, will talk after this show. You got my number. You got my number.
Yeah, come on here and make it happen, bro. And you can get on here and talk about how great I am. You know what I mean? I don't have to do it. You can talk about it. Nah. That's my guy. So we got some good stuff coming up too. People, what's up, everybody? Come through and talk to me. Talk to me. Because once we start talking, I can't say nothing.
Hey,
I
Kevin.
can't say nothing back.
For those of you that are just tuning in studio guest Jay Esquire, we got a calling guest at 10:15. And y'all miss Sexy with it, but we got other songs coming up by Jay Esquire. And right now you're listening to Terry Tobin, who I've seen live in concert. She is phenomenal with I Know My Worth. So take a listen. I hope not.
I don't never wanted when it's the spring in the summer, I never wanted to rain.
Please let it not happen.
Right?
I don't want to go to work and deal with that. No.
I just want to have something to do.
Yeah, Laurie had already invited me.
Oh, Barbie from.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, it's a lady show.
They both Laurie and Nicole. They both
Nicole without the E. She got like a facial expression like she's funny. This girl, big girl.
I've seen Big Girl, but I've never seen Big Girl. I was going to show the video because I was in the background. Yeah. And that's what I'm hearing, Sir Sean. So you guys to come up in here and let us know what's going on, my friend.
What are you talking about?
That y'all did some great work on the.
Oh yeah, we not even finished it. We're not even finished it. Ain't that right, Sean? We not finished it. Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot now. Putting you on the spot. Is this artist from Baltimore?
No, actually. She's from the Midwest.
Okay.
I caught her at the Bethesda Jazz and Blues House.
Mm-hmm.
My husband took us for our anniversary, and I enjoyed the heck out of it. That night she said, everybody with a phone, open up your phone. She said what to do with it, and we got her MP3 of this song for free. She let the whole entire audience have that for free. And then I happened to send her a text message that night, and I told her that, who I was and what I do and so on and so forth. She said, well, I'm going to make sure you have it because I want to hear it. I want to hear it on that. Sure enough, I played this song for her and she was right there. Let everybody know who's
Hey,
so, yeah,
that's beautiful.
great
See,
personality.
that's the beauty of independence.
Right, and that's what I
That's
try to
another-
put out to these artists. I put it out there. I'm like, if you are an artist and you want your song, it's a simple MP3, radio edit, give me a bio, boom, and I will play your song. Did they take up on that? No, because they have that idea
You
that
have to like
who am
it.
I gonna, well, I as long as it's radio edit, I will listen to it first. If it's not hitting it, I'll be like, yeah, no, can't play that. Okay. Because I will listen to it. I think that's a lot of another thing. People just expect you to play it just because they send it to you. You just like, no. Some of y'all got some lyrics in there. I wouldn't even let my grandma hear. Thank you very much. So
That's another part of the process. I like when the one hears it and they have to listen to it. That's fun. Oh, that's fun. All of it. What up, boy? Clarence was actually in the group that I was talking about. I think it's with Black Harmony. Yeah. Or shall I say it is? What up, man? Good morning. It's my guy. I have like long saying
all right, so I'm back in here with the live reading and I
I think I'm on an Usher kick this morning. We are back. Okay. Lady Blue is back. This is the home of Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better. Yes. So, y'all, unless you've been living under a rock, and I've been telling y'all about this rock for the past year, get from under it. You need to get underground, urban reality news right in your hand. That's State vs. Us magazine, your official source to the streets from prison, highlighting high-profile cases, corruption in the police department, government, and the prison system, wrongful convictions, and success stories of the formerly incarcerated. If you or someone you know have a story to tell, want a feature, or an ad space, please email stateversususmag@gmail.com. That's stateversusmag@gmail.com. You can also get your digital copy or your hard copy at stateversususmag.com. Now, let me tell you about the magazine. The magazine is hot. It's national and it's international. You have the premiere issue, which has the CEO and founder of WMSK Online Radio on the cover, Ms. Connie herself, Tia Hamilton, with her feature story, Boss Brand, written by yours truly. That's right, baby. Then you have the second issue, which has my son, the New York General, on the cover and has exciting stories in it, like the brother of Khalif Browder, Akeem Browder, Eddie Conway, and many others. You have the third issue, which is a dual cover, which has Lunel the comedian and Wallow 267 on either side. And there's some great stories in there too. You got stories, you got entertainment, you got eye candy for the gents, eye candy for the ladies. You got advertisements, you got a whole lot going on in there. And the fourth issue is going to be fire, ladies and gentlemen, because we have another dual cover, which has Jamila T. Davis on one side, and on the other is the one, the only, and the original, Freeway Ricky Ross. So you want to make sure that you have this in your hand. I'm telling you, you don't want to be without this magazine. So again, if you need a feature, ad space, you have a story to tell, hit us up. We will make sure to get with you. The other thing I want to make sure to tell you about is that WMSK Online Radio is also looking for jazz, gospel, entertainment, fashion, Latin, Caribbean, community, other types of shows. So if you or someone you know are interested in being on the radio, please send an email to WMSKOnlineradio@gmail.com. We want to hear from you, the leader in talk radio, and make sure you use that hashtag when you are on social media, WMSK Prime. And my phone is just over there just for talking. Okay, anyway. There is lots going on in the community. So if you go over to the website, you can see what's going on in the community with WMSK. I know for myself, I am in the process of gearing up for my 5th annual Domestic Violence Awareness Conference. That's right, 50 Shades of Blue Domestic Violence Awareness Conference is coming to you in October. Date is to be finalized next week. It will be here in Baltimore, so y'all get yourselves together and get geared up. We got swag bags, we got entertainment, we got speakers, we got all that. We got a new speaker coming to us from South Carolina. I am so excited about that. We have all of our veteran speakers that will be joining us. We're going to have food by Goodfellas Kitchen, so they got wiped out last year. So if y'all want good food that's from right here in Baltimore, bring yourself on. Because Goodfellas Kitchen they cleaned up last year, okay? We have my boy, MC Jody Rue, that will be coming in from Chicago. He is no longer in St. Louis. He is in Chicago, Chi-Town. So he will be coming to us to MC the event. And we just have so much more. So sponsorships are open. Swag bag sponsorships are open. If you have any questions, you can email me at 50shadesofbluebaltimore@gmail.com, or you can call me at 443-579-5401 as we gear up for that. Now, the other thing that's coming up, I got a list, y'all, so I hope you got your pen and your piece of paper, okay? Oh, thank you. All right, so the other thing we got to think about is as Memorial Day is coming up. This month kind of went right by us, right like quick, okay? So the next thing that's coming up is Father's Day. Mother's Day already came, went. We got Memorial Day. Now we got Dad. We got to think about Father's Day, all the fathers that are out there, okay? Whether you take them out to dinner, breakfast, lunch, or you give them all three, okay? Whether they get a spa day, whether you take them out to get a new suit, whatever it is that you do, okay? I want you to also include skincare, because daddies need good skincare too. So make sure you come on and discover your Beautiful Blue. That's right, Beautiful Blue has something for dad. We have the MK men's line and we have cologne. So if you're interested in getting anything for dad, you want to get a man can. That is what we are offering for Father's Day is the man can, because the man can do it. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so make sure you get all that in. You can contact Beautiful Blue on Facebook, on Instagram, or you can call 443-579-5401, and you can get your man can ordered and make Dad very happy, because, you know, ladies, why not share a spa day with your man? Okay, do his face, do your face. Y'all sit back and relax, and, you know, nice little glass of wine. Guess what? Get some cheese and whatever else, and just enjoy yourself. Okay. All right. Other than that, yes, I like this every day. Let me give y'all real quick. Let me give y'all real quick, because I know I got several things that are happening, but I want y'all to know that there is still positive going on in the world. And with that positive, real quick, I want y'all to know the biggest story that's happening right now. Hats off to Morehouse College. That is, I don't even need to say anything beyond Morehouse, okay? Because the what took place at their commencement exercise is it was nice to see something dominate the news that did not involve number 45. I'm telling y'all right now, every graduate in the class of 2019 at Morehouse College had their student loans wiped clean, gone. They don't even have to think about trying to pay anything back, because I have to pull up his name, so y'all just bear with me for a second. But this philanthropist and his family, okay, that are worth, and I quote, they are worth $5 billion. Okay, they wrote a grant to the school for over $40 million to wipe out the student loan of every graduate that graduated this past week. Now let me tell you something. I'm sure that quite rocked the Department of Education, okay? And I am quite sure if you've seen any of the video or any of the photos, if you've seen any of anything from this, these young men and women are still smiling to this day. I saw one on CNN News. He couldn't keep still in his chair. He was laughing and dancing and giggling all through the interview. But for them to have that clean slate to be able to go out into the world and not have to worry about this debt, okay, engineers, social workers, all of these different degrees that just got free from a debt, it is amazing, okay? And this is a call for all you other billionaires that are out there. This is a call for you to take care of your own, because we got more than just this man who took care of these young men and women this past week. There's more of y'all out there who can take care of the debt of some of these our future generation that is stepping out into the world, okay? And now they don't have to worry about that. They can start building their credit. They can start looking at buying a house. They can start looking at all of these things and not have to worry about, is my student loan going to drag me down, okay? So I just have to say, and I'm quite sure my in-studio guests can attest to that. That is a blessing beyond. I can't even put a word to that. I was ready to church dance when I saw that. Okay, yes.
Because I've been there.
Yes. To this day, I'm still dealing with my own student loans. So that
I paid my master's off first, and I didn't get to pay my bachelor's off until maybe about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I paid off my. It'll be 5 years that I paid off my bachelor's. And I finished that in 2000. And I didn't pay that off until 5 years ago. And so that was a blessing all in itself, you know, but I was glad to see that lady.
Yes.
I literally was just like, it was elating to see someone do something like that, because so many students, that is what really tears up their credit.
Yes.
Because some of them don't know, some of them, you know, they don't come from a family who knows about deferments and all of that. You might know about it when you first, but you don't know, some people don't know that they can go back and get another deferment. They only know about the one they get when they first come out of college.
Right.
They don't know about, you know, you go back and you do the loan right, the papers right, you can get another deferment. So they mess their credit up because they just stop paying it.
Right. You know that HBCUs come up with credit.
Yes, that I did know.
Yes.
That I did know.
Yes.
That I mean, that I did know.
Yeah.
So, it pays to educate yourself.
Absolutely.
Okay, and for those of you in the African American community, let me just give you a quick word, real quick. Okay, this is a wake up call. This is letting you all know we need to take care of our own. This is letting you all know that there are those that are out there. We got philanthropists right here in Baltimore, and I'm gonna shout out the Able Foundation. The Able Foundation is doing their thing. They may do it silently, but they're here. Okay, there are others that are here. Yes, yes. So there are plenty that you need to take advantage of, and they're there. Okay, and some of them are just they wait for you to show up. They got the door open and then looking out the door, go where y'all at?
Like to the season right now, I think that our people especially really have been on the wake up and on the come up as far as youth building. I mean,
Yes.
they're really the most successful race in America.
Yes, yes.
And for him to do that was amazing, and it set the bar
Yes, it
for
is.
others in a position. But one thing that I've been seeing that's been beautiful is that you can see a lot of people giving, even with the young rappers. You know what I mean? Like people always give them a hard time because they feel
Oh,
like
they out there building houses and refurbishing communities.
And one thing I've been saying to people is like they whack this or that, and I said, but listen, God put them in a position because it's bigger than that. You don't know who they have to take care of. You don't know what they're gonna do in their communities. And a lot of them, as soon as they get their advances, they're starting businesses, companies.
Right. Let's take a page from Nipsey Hussle. Okay.
Nipsey
did what he did. Nipsey had a mindset that a lot of people did not understand. And it was the same thing I'm gonna call out a few artists. You had that with Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was beyond his years, even at a young age, okay? And I don't want to get too far because we're gonna go to the commercial break real quick. But you had artists that were beyond their years, and people looked at them like they were crazy. Okay, they were not crazy. They had an insight that most people turn their minds off to.
Yeah.
So we got to take that to heed, ladies and gentlemen. So real quick, we're gonna go cut to commercial break, and we're gonna come right back. One more by Jay Esquire before we bring in our calling guest when we continue. So keep it locked right here. This is Lady Blue of the Lady Blue Radio Show, live WMSKOnlineradio.com, where talk radio just got better.
Talk radio just got better.
With my phone and YouTube and okay. Ooh, hello YouTube.
Hello, what up, boy?
Y'all turn around and wave at the camera because
What's that? YouTube, what's good?
we out there.
J-Law, what up, boy? J-Law is actually on the song More That You Can Play too. He's actually my artist.
Okay. Well, we're gonna play more at the end of the show. So y'all just keep that. This is the Jay Esquire Day.
You already know that, I got you. They play me there after you.
Hey, Jay,
For me, it is imperative. You gotta. Oh, wow. You actually playing this. Like, hey, listen. Did you hear this? J-Law, did you hear this? We recorded this song so fast. Like I only think it took 2 hours to do this song. And then I went to the next studio over and this song actually was one night. Wow. Like we were like done with the J-Law and me, him, and Mike Even is on this song.
When creative is flowing, you gotta get going.
Like we were done. I think they were in the room doing like a little preliminary mix. And somebody told me Ashley McQuick was in the studio. Me and Ashley McQuick had been on the studio shows together. So I those were my guys. So I just wanted to go say what's up. And it was like, you could put something like this.
Here's the mic.
Right. And I was just like, Oh wow. Okay. So it was really cool. It was really cool.
Well, I just know that with the Lady Blue Radio Show, these songs will be in rotation.
Cool.
Okay, so you will hear them one way or the other, and I'm sure they're heard even when we're not here because we're a 24/7 station. So even when we're not here, music is playing. So we will make sure that you get heard. You hear that, Jersey Sean? Bring yourself up in here, my friend.
Yeah. I think me and Chris had this cool song coming out. Yeah, it's working. It's working. I love writing. Alright, y'all. Step off for a minute. This is my very first IG live video.
Oh, okay.
Never did it around with it.
Yeah.
So,
One, I want to try IG, but I think IG is just an outlet.
yeah, because we only got 50 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, y'all.
Hi, IG. Bye, IG.
Hey, guys. Yeah. Alright, y'all. Peace out.
I guess I haven't set up my IGTV yet. I still need to do so. Because last week I literally, with my small business and this is grown, so it's like, okay, I'll do IGTV.
Never listen to the song over.
Well, I like it.
No, I like it. I just always, I move on kind of quick, especially when when you do features, you doing everything. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, whatever you want.
Car.
Right.
That's what people
You could junk it, or you can donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-639-8620. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars,
Hello?
vans, trucks,
Hey, love,
and
just hold on the line. We got a few, another commercial, another song, and then we'll be in, okay?
And you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car. And as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. Call 1-800-639-8620. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-639-8620. That's 1-800-639-8620.
This girl's amazing. I don't know why. She's got my mind. A sucker for her. She's got control. This girl's magic. She's messing with my soul. Don't bring home the mom. This is definitely go down the road listening while you're driving.
And that's, I'm telling you, I was just like, oh my God, I'm really feeling it. Nice Sunday morning. I really was dull when I left. So, the song was coming up. I left that morning. Yeah, this is good. And I took them home for a minute. And I did my Jill Scott, and then I went back. To clear my mind again.
Right.
Then hear him again. Okay, he got something.
Heck, I could play this playing in the house. I'm just saying.
That's good. That's a great thing.
So you know that's why we gonna start doing all
Yeah,
this little
girl, look,
music.
Look, my kids think I'm nuts, but you know what? That music go up on Saturday morning, and Mama is running through the house. That's just the way I grew up.
Now, what we did, the music go on, it was at your house, it was at your grandmother's
Yeah.
house, or your auntie house. It was all the different houses I could be at.
Yep. You ain't kidding. Yep, this is definitely clean house. And to my husband, if you are listening, keep the name in mind, okay? We need to go get the music, and we need to make sure it's house. Okay.
This is Devon May, better known as Belladonna Prima Donna, and you're listening to the Lady Blue Radio Show, live on WMSKOnlineRadio.com. Talk radio just got better.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We are jumping right in. This is Lady Blue, the Lady Blue Radio Show, live right here on the home of Cheryl Underwood Morning Show, WMSKOnlineRadio.com, where talk radio just got better. We got our special calling guest. She has patiently waited on the phone, and we gonna bring her in. She is the co-owner of Beauty in a Box, Miss Nisha Parker. Good morning, Miss Nisha.
Good morning, Lady Blue. Thank you for having me.
Not a problem, darling. How are you this morning?
I'm good.
Awesome.
It's really rainy in California.
Oh, okay. We got the West Coast up in here. Okay. So, Miss Nisha, tell us a little bit about you and about Beauty in a Box.
So basically, I started as an author. I'm also a teacher. And on my book tour, I realized that a lot of women were not like coming to the book table. They were making comments that they were not reading and things of that nature. So I decided to do like an initiative to promote literacy. And so I started a group on Facebook called Women That Read. And I noticed that a lot of people.
You there, Miss Nisha? We lost the call. I'm sure she'll call right back in. We'll get her back in here, y'all. Never fear. Never fear. Okay, she will be calling right back in. As we continue to wait for Miss Nisha to call back in, let me remind you all. Okay, Baltimore still has its initiatives that are going on. Make sure you are keeping up with Ceasefire, Baltimore Ceasefire. Okay, because that is a movement that is still going on here in Baltimore. Miss Nisha, you there?
Yeah.
All right. That's okay, darling. So go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so I did an initiative called Women That Read Book Club on Facebook. And a lot of the women that joined were interested in like making like literacy and things like that, combining it with like beauty education, trying to get people attracted to literacy.
Okay.
So I was thinking, and I was just writing down some ideas, and I was like, oh, that would be nice to have like a subscription box so we can reach, hundreds and thousands of women every month with a subscription, and we send them a novel and book accessories and beauty products. So it's promoting literacy, self-care, and self-esteem.
Awesome. All in one box. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
How long has Beauty in a Box been around?
So we just launched in January of this year. Last year was when I was doing my book tour, so I kind of was like playing around with the idea last year, but we didn't put it into play until January of this year.
Okay, awesome. And how's the response been since you've done this? Do you find more people are geared towards reading as well as whatever else is going on in the box? Do you review the books once they're gone out?
So we have like on the Women That Read book club, I kind of ask questions like a survey. We've been getting a lot of great feedback. We're also on Cratejoy, which is like a subscription box website where they have all different kinds of subscription companies. And a lot of people love the idea that, the book is in the box. It's also beauty products, so it's something that they love, and they don't have to choose between, getting a beauty box every month and getting a book box every month.
Okay.
They basically get the best of both worlds.
Okay. And are you partnered with different beauty companies, or is it a specific beauty product that you're carrying, or how does that work?
So right now we're just wholesaling and providing wholesale. We have not partnered with any companies. We are looking to do that, but right now since we're new, a lot of companies, they're like, okay, like let's see, how it goes, and they want a little bit more traction before they commit.
Okay.
And I understand that.
Okay. Awesome. So I like the way you're bringing literacy to the community. So do you prefer the hard copy book? Do you mind digital copy? Which way do you prefer to read?
I'm in two book clubs right now, and so because it does get to become a lot when you're like a mom and wife, and you have things going on, to sit and read a hard copy book. So I do. I listen to audiobooks sometimes. I try to do like a hard copy book most of the time, or I'll do like like the Kindle book where I read it on my Kindle.
Okay. You mentioned you're an author. What's the title of the book or books that you've written?
So I've written a book called Day of Destiny. It's a thriller fiction, and it kind of just takes you through the mind of a woman who suffers like with mental illness. I'm a special education teacher, and I've been in the special education field for 12 years. So I've seen a lot of, mental illness, the need for services in our community, as well as just the United States as a whole.
Okay.
So I just try to bring light to it, but not in a way where all fast-paced. I want it to be a little bit entertaining so that people could, really become aware.
Okay. Awesome. So with Beauty in a Box, do you ship nationally? Do you ship international? How you're shipping your product out?
So we ship nationally and internationally. Usually people order through the Cratejoy marketplace.
Okay.
So we do promote on our own website, beautyandablestocks.com. So yes, it doesn't matter. We ship both ways.
Okay, awesome. Now I put your website for your product on the Lady Blue Talk Radio group. So is there any other way that people can get in touch with you or find your product?
Yes, so we usually attend like different events. And so right now, I'm going to be at Black Writers Weekend in 2 weeks in Atlanta.
Okay.
So I will be like doing some promotion, looking for authors to put in our 2020 box. We're also on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Beauty and a Book Stop. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Our website, email, everything is Beauty and a Book Stop for all handles. So beautyandabookbox@gmail for email.
Okay, awesome. Well, I have to commend you for all of the work you do being a teacher, an author, doing this. That there's a lot of things that we as women are doing to get out to the community and make sure they're known. I also commend you for being in the field of, special education, because that does take a special spirit to deal with those different capacities on that level. And, just keep doing what you do, because it is important. And I appreciate you for all you do.
Thank you so much, Lady Blue.
Yes, love. So go out there, live out loud, enjoy your day. Make sure you bless somebody. And if nobody's told you today, I'm going to tell you, I love you.
Oh, thank you. I love you too.
All right, love. Go enjoy your day.
You too.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We had Miss Nisha Parker with Beauty in the Book Box. I don't know. I have to go find her. Okay. We got some authors over here in Baltimore, Miss Nisha. Come on with it. All right. So I truly appreciate that, Nisha, for your time. And I want to get back to my in-studio guest here, Mr. Jay Esquire. We've been listening to his music throughout the show today, which we've been grooving on in here since we got started. Okay. But we've talked music, and we've talked, mainstream versus indie, and we've, talked all of those different things. Real quick before we get into hot topics and your viewpoint on a few things going on, give a word of encouragement, but also a learning tip to those who are coming into the music industry. Because, like I said earlier, a lot of people always see the money; they're not seeing the work that needs to go into it. So, give a little bit of encouragement and a tip on that.
Of course, I'm gonna say that the cliche thing, follow your dreams, but I'm gonna also say do it because you love it. Take the time out. I was telling a young guy not too long ago, take the time out to learn. Whatever it is that you're gonna do, if you're gonna be a singer, really study the grades. There's no reason you should not know the lineage of where you come from. With anything that you're trying to do, study the grades, because you're only gonna be as great as what you come from. And also learn as much of the business as you possibly can. Be honest about it, and work at it. Work nonstop. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, and don't be afraid to become better.
I like that. Now, and I want you all to really take that to heed, because I see a lot of the young and upcoming that are, and I'm not talking about the ones that are already out there doing their thing and they've got their videos and whatever and whatnot. I'm talking about these young ones who are out there who they see their people, and everybody got them seeing dollar signs before they got them doing work.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm stop putting the cart before the horse. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. Because you've got a lot of promising young artists, young people out there, and there's workshops galore out here which will teach you every aspect of the business, from the engineering board to sound, to A&R, to promoting yourself, to how to take care of your entourage, okay? Because you can have, and some of y'all come with some serious entourages, okay?
Can I do a shout
Yes,
out
sir,
real
you
quick?
can.
I had a couple people on my Facebook Live. I want to shout out my man Antoine Grant, my big brother.
Yes.
I want to shout out my man, my man James Freeman. We call him Simon James. And I want to shout out my brother Mike Burnett. I want to shout out Mike Burnett because Mike played on the original version to my song "Sexy."
Okay.
He played the original. The guy responsible for the chord structure
Awesome.
to the song. So shout out, and that's somebody that if I brought him in here, could really tell you about the grind and how hard I've been working at this and how long
Okay, we
we
may
went
bring
in
it
the
back
studio
up.
trying to figure this thing out. The good shows, the bad shows, the you're a really good singer, the you're not a good singer. He was there through a lot of those things, and I just want to shout out, and I got to shout out my little brother Javon, who's also in the group Black Harmony that got me to this point. So y'all will actually be hearing them on my next album.
All right. Well, shout out to all y'all. Hey, Mr. Antoine. Mr. Antoine. Yes, thank you all. Thank you all for the support and the love and all of that you've given your friend, your brother, your cousin, however you want to call him. Whatever love you've given him, I'm sure he's very appreciative of it. And before I forget, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to forget this because it did happen in the music world, and it's the death of Melvin Edmonds,
Yeah.
Babyface's brother. So, a lot of people don't know about him. A lot of people just, oh, well, he looks like Babyface. Well, yeah, they all look alike, okay?
After Seven had some nice records.
Yes, they did.
Even
Yes, they did.
Moment.
So please keep that family lifted up in prayer as they deal with the death of their brother. But I heard he was kind of in failing health for a little. He had,
For a long time.
yeah, he had several strokes and a few other things going on. So for him to still be around this long, okay, ain't nothing but God. I'm gonna tell y'all right there, right now, okay. Okay, so we've talked the music scene pretty much, okay, and being out there, and I will ask you what events you have coming up towards the end of the show, but I want to get your take on what's going on in the world today, because we got a lot going on in the world today.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, and I'm not here to be political, I'm not here to ask you which side you're on, because you're gonna do what you're gonna do because that's your choice. My whole thing is we are dealing with an administration who does not care about the citizens of this country. Okay, we are dealing with an administration right now that is all about let me get what I can get and let me tell you that everything's going to be okay on your end, but in the interim, you either going to pay more for it or you just going to lose out. Period.
Right.
What is your opinion of this current administration? And yes, it is daytime, so kind of be nice, but at the same time, be real about it.
It's trash.
Thank you.
Throw the whole administration away. I mean, every day they're showing you that they're not qualified to do the job that they're doing. And it's also sad that there is a group of people in America who believe that these people are doing a good job. That is an amazing truth and an amazing unfortunate case to be.
Right.
That people really can get. Well, so here's the funny part though. Here's the high part. The people who voted for him tend to be the poorest people in America. And, we always talk about, Donald Trump is racist and all that. My thing is, honestly, he's more of a socialist. And it's all about what you have.
Mm-hmm.
If you speak the money language, he likes you, period.
Yeah.
And if you don't, he doesn't. So his thing is not even a black or white thing. You know what I mean? There are so many rappers and singers and athletes of the time that hung out with black ones that were like, I can't believe that he did that because he's cool. It's like, because you're rich, you speak his language.
But now let's be real about it, because some of the elite in the African American community he won't even touch, and they still got money.
Well, because they're not for this game.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
But I find it amazing that the people who believe so much in him are the people that he's going to let down the most.
There you go.
That's number one. And number two, when you have people like him, you have people in office that really don't care about the general public like that, they tend to allow our people to build and shine. So this is the time for us to keep donating and paying off college tuitions and grants and stuff.
Right.
This is the time for more people to rise up and be inspired by people like Nipsey Hussle to go out and create your own. It's time for people like myself to be independent and tell people, hey, you don't have to do these type of things. Let's build. This is the time for that. One thing that I never do with him, even though I see what he does, I don't give him energy because he does not matter to what my world is.
Right.
He does not, he affects the world around what we do. But in our community, I look at it like we should be like, all right, you're not looking at us. Let's go ahead and let's rebuild these houses.
Yes.
Let's, you know what I mean? There's a store that's vacant now. Let's go get that store over there. Let's go over here and rebuild our schools. Let's get in here and do our thing. He's not paying attention to us.
Right.
Let's get in here while ain't nobody paying attention. Nobody is looking.
Right.
Let's get in here and let's make our community, our culture strong again and lucrative again, because there was a point when it was like that.
Yeah.
Let's get back to being proud. Let's get back to being us and being okay with it. One thing that hindered us, even with, especially with like music, that I have to speak strongly on, is that we were so gung-ho to make the world approve of us. We sold out. We added sugar to something that didn't need it. You feel what I'm saying? And now everything is we work so hard to meet everyone else's standards that we don't have a standard for ourselves anymore. You know what I mean? That's the Willie Lynch thing is a real thing, and people are not paying attention to that. So this is the time for us to wake up and pay attention to us. Stop giving energy to things and people who just don't deserve it.
And I agree with you
Heartedly.
wholeheartedly. Yes, he did. The shades had to come off for that one. But no, I agree with you. We are not putting our energy where our energy needs to be, and you hear it constantly. I've heard it on Worldwide Flavor Network. I've heard it on all of these other shows. We talk about how in other communities they are turning over the dollar in their community 16 to 20 times before it leaves the community. In our community, give it 2 hours. And it's done. Okay? We are disrespecting the Black-owned business and running in the other direction. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now let me say this. Black-owned business. Just because you're Black and you own a business, okay? I'm gonna tell you about yourself. Some of y'all need to learn customer service. Some of y'all need to learn customer service. Just because you're Black and you own a business does not mean that everybody's gonna come running to your door. It is about how you treat the person. It is about how you respect the person because you give what you get, okay? Or you get what you give. Let me turn that around, all right? So we need to learn that aspect. Everybody says it, and I hear it all the time. Put yourself in their shoes. If you're going to go and this person knows you have a product, okay? They know the product is there. Give them a reason to like you. The product will sell itself because the product is already known. Give them a reason to know you. What is it about you? Why is it that I need to listen to you about this? We got stores right here in Baltimore, Black-owned, that are open. How many of y'all have been to those stores? Okay? I don't care if it is in Glen Burnie. I don't care if it is on the west side of town. If I live on the east side, I'll go over there. I got no problem with that. But that's where we need to come together. We need to get that dollar back in here. Okay? I'm gonna get off my soapbox right there. For
I think that we're getting to that point. I think that this is all new to us again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And reintroducing the fact that we can own.
Yeah.
There can be a Black Wall Street again.
Yeah, it can.
There will be. There will be. We've just been conditioned again to want the masses to love us.
Yeah.
And approve of us. And it's like, but you got a whole neighborhood, you got a whole team of people that can. I'm gonna tell you, there's such an uplifting of us now that I'm seeing. You know what I mean? More like college graduates and stuff like that. And the thing is, we gotta help each other.
Yes.
There's really power in numbers. You know what I mean? I look at you look at like Southern Rap. A lot of people were like they didn't understand how those people got on. Because a lot of them like
right.
Like,
no, I understand
a
where
lot
you're
of people
coming
are
from.
like I don't understand how he or she is in it because they had a team. Somebody got on and helped them get on. Somebody fed them. So now they're feeding someone else.
Right.
And then that person that they put on is feeding someone else.
Right.
His seed, marry his seed. You know what I'm saying? So you got to. They're bringing up that part of the culture.
Right.
They're feeding it.
Right.
And that's what we got to keep doing. You know, like me as an artist, I don't particularly. I think most artists are weird because there's just this. It's all good until you ask a question. It's all good until you need a fact or you got your hand reaching, not to take, but it's like, hey, my brother, can you help me? Can you spare us, even if it's a little bit of knowledge? Can you spare some knowledge?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Most people, Black people, because we've been conditioned to think that it can only be one. You know what I mean? Whenever a female rapper comes into the game, she's got a beef with the others.
Right.
Right.
Or somebody creates that beef so there can be
right.
That's the most. Yeah.
Because they can.
Right.
And we fall for it.
Yeah.
That's disappointing to me. And the facade that people put on, like there's a the way of thinking that we think you're supposed to be like the star. You're supposed to be weird. You're supposed to be moody. You're supposed to not speak to people. You know, be all kinds of different things, and that's just not the way that it is because those people that you met coming up. If you're going back down. You know, I can't tell you how many artists I've met and, you know, thought that I made some kind of connection with. And, you know, I might be like, hey, let's get together, let's work on it. You never hear from them again. Or the managers tell them, don't speak to anyone else. You're hindering your people. And that's just the way our community thinks.
And it's not only hindering your people, you're hindering yourself when you don't allow, you know, that room for that growth. And you said it earlier, you don't allow yourself to learn. You don't allow yourself to be open to other possibilities besides your own. You put yourself in a box that way. So, yes.
When I, just real quick, I'll never forget. This is something that taught me really early on. I remember when I was just solely with my group back home, and I went to a producer's house that I've grown up with. And he was playing these tracks, and we were trying to figure it out. It was just me by myself. I went, and he was playing me stuff that he had written for other people that he was trying to sell to them and everything. I was listening, and I'm like, okay, dope. So I said, just listen. Just a question. I said, how do you even get put in a position to get placements? He was saying, he was like, oh, I don't tell nobody because I'm still trying to get on. And I was like, you can't even point me in the direction. I didn't ask for your sources.
Right.
I just wanted to know, hey, this is what I did. And he was like, nah, with all due respect, I'm trying to eat, so I don't really believe in doing that for anybody else. This was a long time ago. And two things are for sure. Number one, I never worked with him again. Never even worked with him. Once he did that, I was like, I don't even want to work. I even told him, I was like, we good, bro. We're not going to be able to do this. And it taught me to be as much of a help and an encyclopedia for anybody trying to get it as I possibly can. You know, when my album came out, people were like, how'd you get your cover like that? How'd you get your album to sound like that? Who mixed it? Who mastered it? Where did you do it at? I gave all of that.
Right.
I gave all of that. Everybody that comes to me and they let me hear rap records or what they starting to do now, excuse me, the first thing I say to them is, do you have publishing? Do you know what publishing is? Do you know about your copyrights? All right, pull this up. Go to this one. I recommend this because this does that. Do you know about point structures? Do you understand that when you put a record on streaming sites, how much that costs per stream, how much you're going to get? Are you ready for that? Are you committed to putting that money into what you're doing? Do you know about duplications? Do you know about replications? Do you know what it takes, how much it's going to cost per CD if you get this package pressed? Where are you going to sell it at? How are you going to sell it? What is the selling point? Who's going to help you? I ask all those questions to any of those people because these are things that not many people put me down to. The only person who ever hit me to the game was my father. That was it. That was literally the only person. And he hit me harshly. He was like, man, you can really sing. That's not enough. You need to write your own records. And when you do that, we need to get you published. He had to sign I was so young, he had to sign my first publishing agreement with me because I was a teenager.
Right.
But I was a teenager that knew what publishing was, that knew about copyrights, that knew about point structures.
But that goes back to your tip of, learning what it is that you're getting into. And I think the other thing that needs to be put out there on the other thing you said about the other gentleman is that all y'all out there, stop trying to charge somebody to ask you a question. Just cut that out. It's a question. It is not your livelihood.
You know what wealth is? Spreading the knowledge.
Thank you.
Spreading it. That's wealth right there. You know what I'm saying? That's the wealth of it.
Right.
Being able to listen, I got a crew that I hang with. We call ourselves the Brotherhood. Those guys are watching and listening. Shout out to my brothers. I love y'all dearly. We are the biggest support system for each other no matter what. You know what I mean? When my album came out, we went on vacation. 2 weeks after my album came out. You know, we did in Miami. We sold my album. Those guys were walking up to people and putting my album in their phones. You know what I mean? So much to the point that before we left, stores, restaurants were playing my album.
Okay.
And when that would happen, my fellas would spread out and go to a table like, y'all like what y'all hear? It's my brother J.S. Quiet, blah, 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 blah. You can get his album on the streaming site, blah, 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 blah. So when those numbers came in, they were a representation of the work that not only I put in, but those guys put in. But that was sharing the wealth. So guess what? When they do stuff, when they need things, one of my little brothers, Javon, is an actor. So when I met a director that was looking for somebody to pilot something, who did I consider? Called him right away. I said, listen, I need you to audition my little brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If it's producers doing beats and I know somebody that needs them, I'm gonna hit them like, hey, I got somebody you need to check out.
Right.
You know, so it's imperative to me that you put your people. That's what the Black community needs to be doing.
Thank you. And you know what? We see it all the time, and Michelle, I know you can attest to this because we see it on social media, especially with us females. We females, come on, y'all. The jealousy monster is ugly and it's not pretty. Okay, there's enough room for everybody out here. You got some that are gonna find their niche and they're gonna go with it. You got some that are gonna take a minute and then they're gonna go with it. But the point of the matter is if I have a success, you have a success.
Absolutely.
Okay. And we've got to stop trying to, as J.S. Wire just said, we just got to stop with that. There can be only one. Okay, this is not Highlander. Okay.
now the thing that was advocate, a lot of that came from the limitations that society did put on.
That is true.
But here's the beauty in that is we can get away from that.
Yes.
We live in a very individual type of world right now, where you can think on your own if you just take the time to think.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
That people always say that just because you get hit to social injustices or the Black culture, you're woke. No, thinking freely is being woke.
Right.
That's being woke.
Right. And not just pointing a finger at it and saying, I understand it. If you can be a part of it, be a part of it.
Right.
If you have something to say about it and you have something to back it up with, don't just open your mouth and start spurting stuff.
And just being you is woke.
Be as real as
And
possible.
being able to know who you are, your
Right.
strengths, your weaknesses.
I agree with that.
You know,
wholeheartedly.
and that's being woke. Being able to challenge the status quo and honestly mean it is
Yes.
being woke. Not being afraid to be the cowboy that runs over the hills to get hit with the arrows from the Indians. Being woke.
Yeah.
Because you're able to bring that individuality and that knowledge back to your people.
Agreed.
You can't always be afraid. I mean, listen, even on my personal page, there are times I may say something and people, they get riled up. And it's like, I'm cool with that because I asked the question that you were afraid to even embrace, to even look over. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they'll be like, well, there were sources to that. And it's like, well, those are deep sources. It shouldn't even be like this. You don't even realize that you got to go look for something like that while they playing your people.
I want you to know that my friend Linda Hillman is on here. She's a pastor out of California, so she listens to you. So Linda is just like, she is all over it. Church hands, okay? Okay. Yes. So we love you, Linda. Yes. Go ahead on. Now, before we get all lost into this, because we can talk about that for days. That's a whole other show right there. The other thing that I want to hit on, because you being a young man, okay, talk to our brothers out here because we got too many brothers that are picking up the gun before they open up their mouth or before they use their brain. Okay, or before they try to have a conversation. Now, me, I'm gonna tell my age. Back in the day, if you had a beef with somebody, you met at a certain time, maybe you duked it out, maybe you sat down and you talked about it. But once you were done, you walked away from it, and it was done. It was not one of these, let me go back home and get, Cousin Anthony and Mama Bell and Papa John, and then we all come back here and let's find so and so and take them out. We need our young men to put the weapons down, okay? And somebody, real quick before you answer, somebody put up a post the other day that had a picture of a whole bunch of weapons, okay? And it said, people say guns kill people. I'm waiting for these guns to get up and move, okay?
Thanks.
Now,
Wow.
okay, so go ahead. Take the wheel with that one because we need our young men to start, you just mentioned it, we gotta think, we gotta talk, we got to do more than just think a gun is going to solve our problems because mass incarceration is real right now. overflowing prisons, overflowing jail cells, people making money off. You got people in jail for life for something that is minor as walking across the street, and it's starting to get ridiculous.
Again, well, I think that media runs the world.
Okay.
So media is literally determining our lives. It, as much as it's telling you to not kill, it's also allowing you to know that you can get a gun. As much as it's telling you to be peaceful, it's also showing you that violence can get you somewhere. We have to do a better job of thinking again, because the things that happen are thoughtless. And see, I think that we need to really get into the psychology of why this stuff is really happening more than anything, you know. And it's not always they came from broken homes and this and that and the third. It says in the Bible, if I may.
Please, by all means.
It says that as time goes on, people will become wiser, but they will become weaker. Man will become wiser, will become weaker. So those days of talking it out, fighting it out, are almost, obsolete, because there's a choice to also kill it out. But again, here's another thing. There is so much more positivity in the world than there is negativity. But the negativity sells. It keeps us in bondage. It keeps us tuned in. It's amazing that we all hate violence, but we will tune in for the car. Right?
Quickly.
I always tell people, I say to my mother all the time, I ask her all the time, why do you watch the news so much? She'll be like, so I know what's going on. And I say to her, so you summed up the whole world by just feeling like all people do is get killed out there. Those are how many good. The news never starts with a good story.
No, never.
Ever.
Never.
It never starts with we're alive watching we're live at this toy drive and it's amazing.
Right.
We're live at the ribbon cutting of a community center.
Right.
This is amazing.
That's always like the last 90 seconds of the show.
Literally.
Of the show. And that bugs me, yes.
And what does that do? That causes us to think that this negative, we allow the negativity to take the driver's side of our brains. It's unfortunate. But we just have to do a better job of governing our community and governing our culture and really getting out here and teaching the kids. I will commend, again, people do talk a lot about, like the newer rappers and all that, but you can count the ones that talk about killing. Now, unfortunately, it's become cool to be a junkie. I never thought I'd see the day it would be okay to be a junkie. But, we're on our way. We're on our way. We just got to keep informing the people that there's better options than what they've been given.
Right. And I appreciate that. Thank you for that. I ain't even gonna get into the topic because we'll be here for days on that one. So, I ain't even gonna get there because, like I said, there's a lot going on in the world today. If you watch the news, if you don't watch the news, most people, they don't even turn on TV. They just go straight to social media because y'all gonna talk about it on social media anyway. But always make sure you do your research. People, don't just go off what you see on social media because a lot of that stuff right there is propaganda. Okay.
Facts.
And it's stuff that's made to make you go and get riled up and start this mad feed, and next thing you know, you got people that are arguing with each other, they don't even know each other, and they arguing with each other.
There are people literally out here having nervous breakdowns. There was a study that said that more people are affected by having nervous breakdowns since Donald Trump got in office. But a part of that is because all they watch is CNN.
Thank you.
Fox News. You're looking to find the problem.
Right.
You're feeding the anxiety.
Now, I get my dose of news. I hear you. I get my dose of news, but I turn it off after a certain amount of time because I don't, to see the same news over and over and over again for 2, 3, 4 hours, something's gonna happen.
But you know, Lady Blue, you also in the media,
Yeah.
in the news, so you know what to kind of decipher, and you kind of like,
Right.
and some people can go overboard, but you know how to just say, okay, this might be true, but it's some other
There's
part
something
to
else
this.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you can read into that, and that
Yes.
makes a difference than the people who are just like straightforward. Only thing they doing is news,
Mhm.
and they only want to see. And you got some people, as you said, yes, what only thing they listen to is what Fox News or just CNN.
Right.
So if you say something against Fox or say something against CNN, they getting all defensive. They ready to fight. You know, things like I've been in those situations,
Yes.
and so it's just like, are you serious? Like really?
People losing their friendships, people losing family members. I mean, come on, this is news. This is just news.
People need to
And it-
separate. Know how to
Right.
separate.
Right.
It all goes back to thinking.
Yep. You ain't
Because
lying.
I could sit and watch all that all day long.
Right.
And then it's like, okay, what did I take from it?
Mhm. Look. All I got to say is this in our last few minutes is that if you're gonna watch the news, like was just said, learn how to break away from it. If something doesn't make sense to you, research it. If you need to go and switch to MSNBC or C-SPAN or someplace else, switch. Okay, get a different viewpoint. There are some that I do like to hear. I ain't gonna lie, I would rather hear them commentate than somebody else. But at the same time, I'm gonna go look. If something doesn't make sense to me, I'm gonna go look. Doesn't the Bible say study to show thyself?
Oh my God.
So if you are not going to study or go research, stop taking it for what it's for face value.
Okay,
Okay.
you know what they did yesterday? One of my little kids said on Facebook, this pastor, she posted where this pastor is charging people $500 to get
Yes.
to heaven, right?
Yes.
And she said that's why people need to read the Bible. And that's just the bottom line. You gotta read to know for yourself. And they're like, who pays somebody $500 to get to heaven? And
But see, that's where we're at right now.
Right.
Like you just said, that's where we're at.
You can get a horse to water.
Thank you. That's where we're at. People figure they're going to get the answer if they fork over money. That's why people are doing all these charlatan moves right now, where they're Linda, that is A. Michelle. Let me get it. That's who's talking over there. Okay. She's all excited, but no, we've got to research for ourselves. That's just the way it is. We got to do it. But you know what? This has been a fantastic show. You have got to come back, J. Esquire, because we need more time. Okay, we need to pick that brain so we can all think. But tell us what have you got coming up, real quick? Anything coming up, real quick?
We have the
okay, in July, we don't have anything really booked in
We don't have
June.
anything
Well, the
booked
thing
in
in June was still
June is
tentative.
open, y'all.
Yeah, June is open. You had one tentative
Always.
thing you still hadn't worked on, but we are doing. He's opening for EU in July 14th at the old Nappy Day.
See, that's what I need. I needed you to tell me the time.
Yeah, the old
I needed
Nappy
a
Day
date.
for Malika. She has a festival in July. That's going to be July 14th. We will be posting it on his social media, so please look for that. And then we have quite a few other things that's going to be coming up in August that he's doing for Malika
And we will be in
in New York in July as well.
19th.
July
Sugar
19th.
Bar.
At the Sugar Bar.
Sugar
yes.
Bar. I heard of Sugar Bar now.
That's
I've been
gonna
there
be
quite a
July
few times.
19th.
It's always dope.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to some things. He is available for booking.
Hey.
So and out of state. So
Okay.
it's not just for here in Baltimore, but he is available for
So
booking.
where are we finding Mr. Esquire on social
You
media?
can find me on Facebook.com/JESQ Music, Twitter and Instagram as well, JESQ_music, both for Twitter and Instagram.
Okay, so y'all please go and update your Instagram and Facebook.
And
Get the smart link.
the album, the link is in there, the smart link is in there to get the album, which is in Perfect Gentleman. It's in stores now, and it's on every digital download and streaming platform.
All right. Now.
I'm here,
Are you
everywhere
on
you need to be.
Spotify yet?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going and update my Spotify.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, Lord. I just put you
Yes,
on Spotify.
yes,
I put all.
Lisa, marry where you want to be.
Come on now.
American Express.
I'm all of those.
Everywhere.
What's in your phone? Forget your wallet. What's in your phone? Okay, okay. All right. Yes, Miss Linda, I will post this social social media up on the Lady Blue Talk Radio group. Never fear, it will be up there, so you know where to go,
Thank you,
Miss
Miss
Linda.
Thank
Miss
you.
Linda, I love her to death.
She got to send me a
she's-
message. Miss Linda,
Yes.
when you finally send me a message so we can chat, we can become
Yeah.
friends.
That's
We
there you
trying to
go,
come
Miss
in-
Linda.
she
Because
said
she
in
said she
California,
needed
right?
your little church moment there as a
Hey.
ringtone. She needed that as a ringtone. But look, we have had a fantastic show in New York.
Yeah,
Okay, it has
absolutely.
been a blessing. It has
Absolutely.
been a joy. It has just been, fun as usual. But I want to leave y'all with my deep blue thought. Okay, I want to leave y'all because we've talked about several different issues. We've talked about the current administration. We've talked about being out in the world with music. We've talked about dealing with, our community, our young men, and all of these different things. The one thing that I want to bring to you all is this. Mr. Esquire mentioned it about people having nervous breakdowns because of dealing with social media and all of this other stuff. And it's been said that our current president is like the internet. You stay on it too much, you get fatigued, and you worry about it.
Mhm.
Okay, and you don't go research. People Google, but they don't go read. Okay, so don't bear yourself down with so much that's going on in the world. Okay, because remember, you are not of this world. Okay, you are of cut from a different cloth. I'm bringing on in my church side. Okay, so y'all just bear with me for a second. Okay, you are a different kind of person. You are not meant to be conformed to this world. Okay. So transform your mind, transform your way of thinking, transform your way of feeling, transform the way you talk to people, the way you're around people, the way you deal with people. Transform that, okay? When you say hi to somebody you've never said hi to before, watch what happens physically,
Mhm.
okay? When you do something that you've never done before, it may be an adrenaline rush, but guess what? You feel so much better after you've done it. Don't talk about, I ain't gonna do that if you've never tried it. Go out there, do it. If you like it, you'll go do it again. If you don't like it, at least you can say you tried it. Okay? So make sure you study for yourself. I said it earlier. The Bible says that study to show thyself approved. So please do your research before you jump out there and start talking about something you ain't got no knowledge of. And just because you hang out with so-and-so does not make you the greatest thing in the world. Okay? I'm just telling you. Okay? Just telling you. I want to thank my calling guest, Ms. Nisha Parker. I want to thank Mr. Esquire for gracing me here in the studio.
Thank you very
We've been
much.
enjoying your music.
Thank you. Thank you.
And, hey, Michelle, always the girl, always. Y'all just make sure you keep it locked. WMSK Online Radio. You can find Lady Blue all across social media, Instagram, Twitter, Blastfy, co-promote, what is that other, Tumblr, all of that good stuff. Pinterest, I'm even on Pinterest now, okay? No, I can't get on Snapchat. Can't do it. Anyway, so y'all just keep it locked. We'll get out there, enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to y'all next Thursday. And as I always say here, weeping may endure for a night, but joy, it does come in the morning. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out.
Peace. So say goodbye.
All right, party people. Miss Linda, I will make sure everything is up on the Lady Blue Talk Radio group. You can find them on Instagram. You can find it on Facebook. Hey, Dr. Oh no, that's not Dr. Hey, Eric. Hey, how you doing?
What up?
Everybody, it's been a fantastic show. Make sure you catch the replay. Make sure you downloaded the free app. Make sure you catch YouTube. Other than that, I'll talk to y'all later.
I know it's early in
Peace.
the mornings, early in the day, and a lot of y'all at work, but I thank y'all for tuning in. As always, y'all some good support. Appreciate y'all. God bless.
Okay, so you got video like 3 ways around. I will make sure you have the, as a matter of fact, Sean just gave me the
YouTube link.
Okay, I'm gonna show.
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this impression.
Good, good. Before y'all leave here, I will catch a picture of y'all in front of the
Wow. Quick 2 hours.
And it goes by way too quick.
I keep trying to tell people. I bet people say, well, what am I gonna talk about all that time to do when I say it's over, it's over. They're like, we finished? We finished? Like,
All right, YouTube land, I'm out of here. Okay? See y'all.